the Trailblazers get defensive in game 2 and even up the series versus the Nuggets. Key ingredient here, the Blazers hold the Nuggets to 35 points in the first half. Game easily stays under the total. And from jump, Portland was in control of this ball game. Impressive. Now going to head back to Portland, Teddy. Even.
Yeah, sure. And last night's game had everything to do with the fact that the Nuggets couldn't hit the broadside of a barn throughout the course of the contest. 35 points in the first half. That, I believe, a season low, certainly a low in 2019. For the game, 20% from three-point range? You're not going to win a whole lot of playoff games when you're shooting 35% from the floor and 20% from beyond the arc. Now, the one thing Denver did do that's a little bit scary for Portland moving forward, they had 14 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. Didn't make any putbacks. The quote from Terry Stotts. The good news is that they had all those offensive rebounds. They didn't convert a lot. They were 8 for 24 on second chance points. We were fortunate. We came away not hurt as badly as we could have on the offensive board. So that's something that Portland has to fix prior to game 3. All that being said, the Blazers won a road game on a night where Damian Lillard, 14 points on 5 of 17 shooting. That's impressive for Portland moving forward, no question. And now we've seen a dramatic odd shift for this series. Right now, we're seeing the Blazers as the chalk, which they weren't after game 1 or prior to the series.
Yeah, how about that, Teddy? Blazers favored by 4 as we do a look ahead there. Over under total at 215.5. We talked about it a couple days ago because the Nuggets more running on adrenaline there, Teddy. So you had that, long layoff for the Trailblazers. The Nuggets closed out the Spurs. They move on quickly within a day and a half and play the Trailblazers, play them well and win in that game. And then you saw, that adrenaline sort of wear off, and the Trailblazers came out and were the better team last night, which I know some people did expect that. But when you have the more rested team, sometimes it takes a day or two to get that rolling. Now you're looking forward going back to Portland. Do we think it's going to even out now? I mean, it's always hard to win in the playoffs on the road. But now that this series is sort of even out, maybe the pressure goes away from who's rested and who's not. Do you look forward to maybe the Nuggets getting back underway here? Because they do have to take one of these games up in Portland, Teddy.
I would expect Denver to win one of the 2 games in Portland. I'm not convinced it's going to be game 3 necessarily, but I do think that this series goes back to the Pepsi Center tied at 2-2. And we talked about this on yesterday's show. Denver, after the game 7, and then a short turnaround game 1, where they win both of those games, we worried about the exhale, and certainly the first half for the Nuggets last night, that's not Denver basketball on either end of the floor. They exhaled, and it showed, and it cost them a game.
Ted, if we were just reading names yesterday, as we talked about on that betting show just yesterday, line dropping. Wait a second. Corey Kluber, previous Cy Young Award winner. Caleb Smith, Miami. This team stinks. Well, there was a reason why that line dropped 40 to 50 cents yesterday, and Caleb Smith was sensational yet again, Teddy, giving up 1 solo blast, going 7 innings. The Marlins taking home 4-2, but even a worst-case scenario, when we previewed a lot of these baseball divisions early in the year on that betting show, it was one to say, hey, look, Cleveland's probably going to win this division just by default. Now you lose Kluber to a broken arm, no timetable when he's going to come back. The offense still not there for the Indians, but let's not take away Caleb Smith, one of those gems, Teddy, not a lot of people quite know about yet.
And, well, the betting markets know about him. We saw, obviously, a 40-cent line move against Cleveland yesterday. And, yeah, Kluber got hurt in the game, hit by a line drive, and that was that for him, and that was the end of the Indians' chances in the contest. But make no mistake about it. This is a Miami team. They have 9 wins on the season. They've won each of Caleb Smith's last 4 starts. Something to pay attention to. And believe me, the betting markets aren't sleeping on this guy. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see a significant price tag attached to Caleb Smith next time he's on the hill. Another impressive outing yesterday. And for Cleveland, well, we handed the division to the Indians before the season started. Minnesota may have something to say with that. Have something to say about that before this season is through.
Yes, they will, Teddy. And we joked a couple weeks ago about Snell getting out of the shower and just out of nowhere trying to move some granite rocks around his or granite fixtures around his bathroom. But looks like the Kansas City Royals have a little bit of momentum towards this guy, Teddy. Back-to-back starts for Snell coming off of that short break with the broken toe. Only goes 3 innings each, and yesterday's a heavy favorite on the road in game 2 of a doubleheader. Got shelled for 7 earned runs. Really interesting to watch this. And look, the momentum last year from being a Cy Young Award winner coming into the season, sensational. Could the broken toe granite fixture be the change in his season, Teddy?
Yeah, it already has. 7 earned runs. He only faced 18 batters yesterday and gave up 7 earned runs. That's not pretty for last year's Cy Young Award winner, for the guy who was as dominant as any pitcher in baseball through his first few starts of 2019. Now it's back-to-back games where he got lit up, okay? And when you talk about a broken toe, we don't think a lot about toes and pitchers as, okay, this matters. You know what? When you think about how the pitcher winds up, where his feet are planted, all the different factors that go into your body being able to throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, Snell's not right now. I expect the markets to react accordingly next time he hits the hill. But back-to-back starts where he's had a problem. The broken toe, not one of those injuries for Blake Snell where, oh, it feels better, I'll get back on the mound, everything's fine. It's clearly not that way for Tampa's ace.
Teddy, in the NHL, sometimes you just got to throw out regular season statistics. You just got to throw out where teams are seated. How about the Hurricanes taking a 3-0 commanding lead with getting another win last night? Even with Peter Mrazek, the starter, out of the lineup, McElhinney comes in and stops 28 shots. 2-2 game entering the third period. 3 unanswered goals by the Hurricanes, now on the brink of elimination and taking control. How about this, Teddy? Going into game 4, a 131 favorite to close it out with a 4-0 sweep.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the line look really short yesterday, and I had the opportunity to talk to a couple of odds makers in town who said it was nothing but public money on the Islanders. I don't get involved with a lot of hockey wagers. Even I was tempted to get to the window last night on Carolina, and obviously the 3 unanswered third period goal. I'll tell you what, here in Vegas, we don't mind seeing Barry Trotz lose. The Islanders have been an overachieving team. Obviously, they're coming back to earth at the wrong time for their backers, and at the wrong time for last year's Stanley Cup winner, Barry Trotz.